Great to be here. I'm a newbie at SICS, so it's great to be here at the first time, but I find it a very exciting day. So I will talk about visualizing industry, and it's important. The point of that one is that we can show information to the people who are making important decisions in industry, so that they can make well-informed decisions about functions that serve all of us. But I will show two examples first that are not from industry, but are from something I think that touched all of us last year. And they've been already mentioned today, so there's nothing new. But it's a new way of looking at it. So if we look at Brexit, and quite many of us maybe thought that it was quite surprising that it happened. But there's a research group in England that was visualizing retweets about Brexit before the elections. And you can see in the green color, they are showing the group that was against Brexit, and purple is the one that is supporting Brexit. And also the usernames of the Twitter accounts are visualized there with the text. And the bigger the text is, the more influential that user is. And that is measured by number of followers, retweets, mentions, and so on. So you can see there's a lot of influential people in the group that was against Brexit. And this group is usually very visible in the media. So when we read the newspapers and look at news, that was maybe the picture that we got about these elections. It was these people visible in the media. But you can see the Brexit group that was supporting Brexit was very active. That was happening a lot, but not so many influential people that were visible to us in the media. So that's why maybe we got the perception beforehand that the Brexit wasn't going to happen. And the same they could show, perhaps, happening in the US elections. So here you can see the Clinton group with the green color, a lot of the influential people here again visible in the media, and the Trump group that is not so much this establishment people, but a lot of action, a lot of noise going on. But that wasn't visible to us when we were reading newspapers and looking at the news. So if we take this kind of thinking to industry, here are two operators sitting at Mäla Energy, which is a heat power plant in Västerås. And they are basically responsible that we have heat in our homes, we have hot water, and of course all the important functions in Västerås, like the hospital and the schools and all the businesses, they also have hot water to run their operations. So these guys have a lot of responsibility. And how do they do it? They look at those complicated looking screens. We can have a bit zoom in. And this is a screen of a process graphics that they look at. It's basically giving information how the process is going. And then this part of the screen is showing then what temperature they should send to the city. What would be the optimal that we would be happy in our homes and live in a comfortable life. And they, of course, get some guidance. They have the big screen in the back of their heads showing like the temperature values, that this is probably a good number that they just steer this temperature against. But what is missing here is actually the city. I mean, what is the weather like in Västerås? There are many microclimates in Västerås. Different parts of the city can have different temperatures. They don't see actually how warm the water is in different parts of the city. Are we happy there? Do we have hot shower? And so on. Little information they get, but not everything. So they are making decisions like we were about Brexit and US elections, that they don't have this overall view of what is happening, but they have their assumption. They have, of course, a lot of experience that they have gathered during the years that they were working there. But I think we could support them a lot better by giving them more data, what is happening in the city, actually. And there is a lot of work done in this area. This is a visualization in New York, where they have visualized all the energy consumption in a building level. So it's pretty interesting to see how Manhattan here, for example, is very much using a lot of energy. And this gives a good overview of what is happening in the city, not only for the people who provide the energy, but also to the citizens. So this is what we are doing in SICS Västerås. So we are helping with the operators to give them the overview of what is going on in the city. And of course, this is not just to visualize the information. We have to gather it, we have to analyze it, we have to run some machine learning on it, and so on. So we have a group of different competencies that are doing this. So we are gathering the data, our machine learning experts are developing the algorithms to run behind this, and so on. And I think we will be able to provide this tool to the operators so they can play with the data, they can see the situation, they have an overview, and they can make better decisions of how the city should be provided with hot water. And this is another situation in industry that we could help, where we could visualize more information. It's my colleague in the white helmet, Petter, who's maybe here somewhere also. He was summer working at Stora Enso. And here he is opening a valve in this factory. And, but he doesn't have much information, like what happens when he actually does it? What happens to the process? Is it okay? Is it safe to do it? But he is very brave, so he's doing it anyway. So we thought that here is also an opportunity, and augmented reality was already mentioned. So we developed a prototype together with ABB, and we will work it together with Stora Enso to see how it could work in their environment. Let's look at the video. With sound. But sound. My Alvaro, who has made the video, he has a very nice Spanish accent, so I don't want you to miss him to tell the story. Let's hear.
System when they are working in the factory floor. They can only access this information while they are in the control room. Holographic is a research project that aims at exploring how mixed reality technology can be used in process industry to improve personnel's access to information and therefore improve the personal safety and way of working. Today, operators and factory personnel don't have access to key information on the control system when they are working in the factory floor. They can only access this information while they are in the control room. That is why they normally prepare beforehand by printing the values of the machinery before going on a factory tour. The idea of the project was to develop a prototype on Microsoft HoloLens to enable factory personnel to see the information available on the control system on top of the physical equipment. The prototype visualizes information about real-time values, trends, maintenance issues, and instruction videos for assistance. In the case of this motor, the operator sees that the temperature values are above the normal, so he decides to check the heat map visualization of the motor. He can now see which parts of the motor are more heated in case further revision is needed or maintenance should be scheduled. Once the operator checks that the motor is working properly, he continues towards the iron tanks. He is able to see all the information from the control system displayed on top of the iron tanks. The operator glances at the pressure values and concludes that no further revision is needed for today. As the tour is concluded, the prototype shows the route for evacuation exit that leads to the factory floor. In an emergency situation, this could be used as a safety mechanism, in which the application would guide to the nearest evacuation point. But in this case, as there are no alarms, the operator can safely go back to the control room and finish his tour around the factory equipment.
Alvaro is showing this demo in the poster session, so I hope you go and try it out. So it's pretty nice. So thanks a lot. I hope I was able to inspire you that there's a lot to do. I think digitalization is a lot about just giving the overview to people so that they can make better decisions. So thanks a lot.
Question from the audience? Over there.
I couldn't help seeing some zombie-like movements in the way he was walking. Have you done any research how people behave using this overlay visual technique? How they differ in the way they proceed?
That is a good question, and that is the next step that we are trying to achieve, is to work with Stora Enso and their operators, so they can really try the glasses on. And you can see that it's not very easy to have the helmet, for example, on top of it. And when Alvaro was having this on maybe 2 minutes, it's like nose and the ears and everything was aching. So it's not really there, the equipment. But it's fun to try the technology.
More questions? Oh, there is one question.
Just wondering how much runtime reaction you are considering for your system. I mean, it looks like a showing system presenting some data that are coming from statistics, but I'm wondering if you are considering also a runtime reaction on the real system, so measuring really the data and provide back in runtime any type of reaction.
You mean controlling the
Yes.
process? Yeah. I think that is possible because you can do it already on mobile devices. So you can access the control system and change the values. So I think it's absolutely possible. So, but we haven't implemented it yet like that.
Or are you going to try any other device?
Sure, but we try to work from the user needs. So if we find some need that matches with some technology, then we are.
Yeah, I was thinking about magical wands or something.
Sure.
Okay, then the question is back to sustainability.
Yeah.
Where are you in the sustainability world? Economical, social, or green?
It's green because we are helping the operators to be more sustainable in their work and also being more economic, that we can save on the fuel and so on. There we go.
Yes,
but
you
okay.
Don't forget the social. I was expecting social, so it was the best explanation today. And the prize.
Okay, thank you.